And they say, hey, whoa, these guys are different. They're preaching personal relationship. They're preaching God with me. And that was very different from that. You know what? Times have not changed. You got to understand this. Times have not changed. People are just as hungry for the Word of God today. You know what they're hungry for? They want a non-hypocritical Word. That's what people are hungry for. What? Because they get a hypocritical word all the time. They see people in and out of church. They see people in and out of divorce court. They see those same people in and out of jail. And they're going, well, on Sunday, you sit in church and you say you believe this, and on Monday, you're on a street corner trying to buy something. On Sunday, you're sitting in church, and you're greeting everybody and you put a smile on your face. But on Monday, you're screaming and yelling at your spouse. You know what? People see that. People see that. I've been asked time and again through the years, oh, is this just another church? You know why people say that? Because, honestly, people are sick of hypocrisy. People are hungry for a non-hypocritical Word of God. They are. They're hungry for it. People are hungry for life-changing commitment. There are preachers that can fill stadiums with thousands of people. And there is a small number of those people in that stadium who are looking for a life-changing commitment. Even Jesus knew that everybody is not going to respond. Look at this. He preached to a crowd of people and brought 4 back with him. He knows that everybody's not going to respond, but there are people that want to respond. There are. And we still have people out there today that want to respond. We do. But you know what? We've got to just see that. And we've got to have a passion to be able to share the Word of God with them. The thing is, there are still hungry people, but the question is, are there people to share the Word of God with them? Well, but that's your job. Yeah, it is. It's actually my job. But more than that, it's my job as a Christian. Yeah. There are people waiting everywhere. And if we think that I am going to be the one that reaches everybody in Greensboro, everybody in Winston, everybody in High Point, and everybody in all the surrounding areas, that's just nuts. That's why the call is not come follow me and listen to my words. That's why the call was come follow me and I'll make you the same as me. That this is for us all. So there are hungry people, but are there anybody preaching the Word of God there? Who's sharing the Word of God with all of these hungry people? Jesus knew he needed help. That's a fact. And he was going to go out there and get it. Secondly, Jesus sees the opportunity at hand. He's standing over by the lake, and there's a big crowd that gathers around him. And what did he say? He didn't say, ooh, I got to get out of here. He said, oh, there's a boat. I'm going to go get in it, and I'm going to be able to talk to all these people. Why? Because it's easier to talk when you're a little bit separated than when you're right on them like this, because then it's only just me and Mike. He wanted to get a little bit of separation, so he's like, ooh, I'm going to get in this boat. And he says, whose boat? Peter goes, mine. Couldn't you have picked John's? I want to go home and go to bed. I've been up all night long, and I'm hungry, and I'm tired. And I got to finish cleaning my nets, but okay, fine, Rabbi. And he gets in the boat, and then Jesus starts preaching. Now, when Jesus starts preaching, you think he went for 10 minutes? No, oh man, Jesus was preaching. Who knows how long he went? He probably talked for a while. And he's talking and preaching and sharing the word of God and challenging people and teaching them, and everybody's in awe. Because he sees the opportunity at hand. See, I think a lot of times we're waiting for the right moment, aren't we? And we tell ourselves inside, you know what, this is not the right moment. Ooh, the moment's got to be perfect. It's got to be just right. And we tell ourselves inside that, oh, this is not the right moment. You know what, I dare you that when you think that this week, just think of Jesus standing right next to you and ask yourself, would he take this moment? You know why we do that? Well, it's not the right moment. All that is giving us an easy way out because we're afraid. You know how I know that? Because that's who I am. Oh, this might not be the right moment. Then ask yourself, would Jesus take this moment? You know, because the funny thing is, I would think that Jesus walking up on a funeral would say, this is not the right moment. But Jesus, he knew the right words to say. And he wept and he cried with people, and he was like, oh, this is the right moment. I'm going to raise the dead. Now, if we do that going to a funeral, that might be a little weird, huh? But for Jesus, it was the right moment. A woman caught in adultery. You know, and everybody's about to stone her. You know what? We'd be going, ooh, I better bow out of this one. But Jesus says, no, this is the right moment. And what does he say? Hey, if you're without sin, you cast the first stone. Woo! He threw a zinger in there. It was the right moment for Jesus, though. He sat down by a well, and he was tired, and saw a woman come up to draw water. And for us, we'd be like, oh, it's nap time. Doggone it. This isn't the right moment. Isn't it true? Yes. But Jesus is like, this is the perfect moment. Look at you. How many husbands have you had? Ooh, calling her out on the seat. Jesus is just working his way through a crowd. He's just trying to get through a crowd. And he feels power go out from him. We're thinking, this isn't the right moment. I just got to get out of here. I'm trying to leave. I've already preached to these people. But what does he do? He turns around. Said, who touched me? Because it's the right moment. My question is, when isn't the right moment? Honestly, when isn't the right moment? Now, it might not be the right moment in the middle of a test when the teacher says everybody be quiet. I mean, okay, fine, granted, that might not be the right moment, but there are few and far between those moments are. One of the things I appreciated about this weekend is Gary and Lisa Hunley came, and one of the things they talked to us about wisdom. And using God's wisdom in your marriage. But I think that applies to every aspect of our lives. In James 1 and James 3, using God's wisdom in all of these areas. Why? Because Jesus always had the right thing to say. And I think God will give each and every one of us the right thing to say as long as we just ask him. We've got to ask for that wisdom. We've got to pray for that wisdom. And we've got to use those moments. We've got to stop giving into the fear that's inside, saying this might not be the right moment. And we've got to seize the opportunity. We've got to seize the moment. And for a lot of us, you know what? The wisdom comes through trial and error. I've seized a lot of moments in my life. And I've made so many mistakes. But it's because of that that's allowed me to get closer with people or to be able to read people help people